Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Ondo's price chart, and what we talked about in the previous video I'm going to say exactly played out. Why? If you remember the last time that we talked about Ondo, we were right in here, and the idea was that this is kind of a slow move on the upside, so maybe the low is not in yet, and we're gonna have, for example, a WXY in form of a double zigzag. And I think I said specifically from here we can have our second ABC, but that didn't happen, and instead from this point we got, as you can see, our second ABC zigzag, which ended we took this initial low. So I'm still going to, in my view, argue that this is most likely a WXY in form of a double zigzag. Now, however, I'm gonna say our second ABC was actually right in here, and nonetheless we said there's like a very high chance that in Ondo our move up is going to continue, and I think I specifically said we can have like another 10% move on the upside. And let's just measure this move from here to about the highs. This is about a 13% move, so I'm going to argue we basically saw what we needed to see. Now here's a very important point. Let's just count some waves in here. In my view, this is probably a wave 1 followed by a correction for 2, good move up into wave 3, correction for 4, and then 1 2 3 4 5 wave up into wave 5. Basically 5 waves on the up or downside. Do not really get, in my opinion, a whole lot more clear than this, and this is very important when you go on some higher time frames. You see, we talked about this, I think, also in the previous video. This can be definitely interpreted as an impulsive structure up. We said also this is another 5 wave, and guess what? Off of the low slowing Ondo, we do have yet another 5 wave up, and between this move and also this one, we do not have overlapping of the waves. So now I am extremely optimistic. Why? If you want to argue that we're gonna have, for example, our final low at this area, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low in terms of Elliott waves a 1 2 3 4 5 wave up. Now this specific structure is called an impulsive movement. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, our wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. That's actually a big no in Elliott waves. And in terms of our sub waves, this is the key, pay attention please. We must be able to find 5 waves into wave 1 3 and 5, and for wave 2 and 4 we can have different scenarios. Let's say, yeah, okay, sure, WXY into wave 4 and an ABC structure into wave 2. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is going on, and this is why, my friends, I am so bullish. I think now in Ondo you do have quite a valid argument actually that this is 1 2 3 4 5 wave, meaning what? Probably we have hit our final low right in here about 85.5 cents. However, this is a very important point. Please pay attention. Question for you: what is going to happen after a 5 wave up, even if you want to go according to the most bullish scenario? I think you know the answer. We are going to have one way or the other a move on the downside. So in case in Ondo I see, I would say, a relatively deep pullback to about these areas, it's not going to be a bad sign at all, as long as this phase down is going to have certain characteristics, and one very important one is going to be being absolutely slow and choppy. And number 2, between our pullbacks, you should be able to constantly identify overlapping of the waves. If we get a move like this, it will actually be a very much optimistic sign and a beautiful bullish setup, suggesting on a higher degree, this is 1, this is 2, and what's next? Good move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. Now, here's the question. Should we have our move on the downside right around the current point? No, not necessarily. In fact, if you want to be a bit more optimistic, you can even talk about the potential of having an extension structure, meaning, as an example, this can be 5 wave up, sure, but on a higher degree into a wave 1, followed by a correction for wave 2, and what's next? A strong move up into wave 3 4 5, and on a higher degree, for example, this can be into a wave 3, correction for 4, another move into wave 5, and then maybe we're gonna have a deep pullback. Now this scenario can absolutely be in play, but I'll be honest with you, usually we are not really that lucky, and I also do not really want to get your hopes up that much. So let's go with the most pessimistic scenario between all the bullish cans and count on a move down. So if it happens, we're not going to be surprised at all. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Ondo. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.